What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Honeystead. The other day, my husband and I went on a quick walk. I wanted to check on the morel mushroom spores that I spread a few months ago to see if anything was popping up. Not quite yet, nothing yet, but I'm gonna keep a very close eye on that mushroom because it's pretty much any day out in this area. Now, while we were out walking, I came across a gorgeous log covered in a beautiful mushroom, and I've got my 90-year-old grandma that's gonna come foraging for mushrooms with us. So let's go enjoy this beautiful day. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Bring your jacket.
Yeah, I'm wearing my coat in case.
Yeah.
Because it's so light.
I know.
My jacket is more heavy than...
It's gonna be,
it's nice.
It's gonna be a nice day.
Yes.
Let's go hop in the side-by-side. I gotta go run to the apothecary to pick up a basket and one of my knives. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run in and grab my basket and a book and my knife. The book that I'm gonna be using today is Medicinal Mushrooms from Christopher Hobbs. I was blessed with an opportunity to go hear him speak, and very excited to have snagged a signed copy of his book. So let's go get some mushrooms. There's something living in that. I'd be eager to see if I can set up a trail cam to find out. Those are prickly. I'd be eager to see what's inside, what's living inside that hole. Might be a good idea to put a trail cam up. These are known as turkey tail. Turkey tail come in many different colors, but the binomial name is Termetes versicolor, which these have more of a blue hue to it, a blue tint, blue-gray. These definitely took a hit from the cold. This is probably one of the most prolific mushrooms. And I want you to take a good look at it and go look and see what type of colors you guys have around your area. There are no gills. It's a polypore. So see the little pores? If you see some with gills, you don't want it. I was hoping to be able to use my knife, I don't want to. Well, I might be able to. Let's see if I can do this without dropping the camera in the creek and or falling. Now, it got a little cold last night, which I'm kind of curious if maybe that's why these little guys hardened up, not as fresh as what they were the other day. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have much luck peeling these guys. But this is all fruiting body. I want to give you guys a really good example but I think up here, might have to just leave them. They're not that good over there. No, we're gonna go, I'll go look at a different spot. I'm gonna walk right over here. I'll bring some to you so I can show you what we're foraging for. But I don't want her to hurt herself out here, which I'm sure she probably would do just fine. But we are trying to take it easy. Turkey tail has like a soft velvety appearance as well. You can kind of tell the difference between something that's been, I think it just got cold, or it's just getting a little bit older, but as the seasons go, all of this will spread. Look at all of that. You can tell that the tree is completely inoculated with the turkey tail. We're gonna leave some of the little ones, and there are some larger as we go down this tree branch. All you gotta do is just peel it. Simple. Always check it. Make sure that there are pores and no gills. And definitely make sure to leave some. I mean, I know that this is going to be full of turkey tail mushrooms, but I do believe in leaving some. And we're gonna be doing this probably a couple of times this year between all over the property. I have a few spots that I have been watching, hence why we are out here today enjoying this gorgeous day. But turkey tail mushrooms has a lot of medicinal properties. And there are a few different ways to prepare it, and I'm going to try Christopher Hobbs' his method today. We're just gonna get a few. And yes, don't come at me. I know that there's multiple ways to do this. They're a little harder than what I was hoping for though. And if y'all haven't figured out when they're called turkey tail, because look, they fan out like a turkey tail. I always find turkey tail on down and dead trees, branches, logs. I sometimes can find them on the sides of stumps quite often. And it is a very, very familiar, popular mushroom, fungi that people have all over the place.
Oh my gosh. Do we eat this?
We're gonna turn them into medicine. So.
Oh, a medicine. So you just pull like this?
You peel it. You kind of peel it, but you can also go like this.
Yeah, turn. Oh,
just like snap it.
Yeah.
They're a little drier than what I'd like, but I think it's because last night it got
like
cold.
This?
Yep.
Maybe we can take this. Yeah,
Now we can peel it. That was a workout. But now she can,
like they wet.
a little bit, now she can peel it instead of having to bend over that, or we were gonna get a bucket to sit on. I kind of like this texture. It peels a lot easier. I think we'll just get a few more and then I'll put this log back and it'll grow more.
Yeah.
And then we'll take the basket to the house and do the next step.
Yeah, I want to see when you do the next step.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna do in the house?
Yeah, I'll do it in the house.
My goodness, Suzanne, you learn.
Never too
And I'm
old.
not afraid to learn. You know, I don't care if I'm young or old.
That's That is what we believe.
That's right. We are like this.
Mm-hmm.
We strong people.
We are strong people.
Yeah. Hey, I can speak English when I come in.
Yeah. I went ahead and put that tree branch back, but moved it a little bit closer to our trail so that we can keep an eye on it. It's still going to be in a nice shaded area, and we're so close to the creek that this ground does stay nice and damp, but we'll keep an eye on that branch. Let's head up to the house. We got a good bit, and see what we can show you next. We're going through and kind of picking these, the ones that when we were peeling it, it has like a little bit of the wood chips. We're just gonna snipping that off, and I'm putting that in a bowl. I'm gonna bring that back outside and see if we can grow some mushrooms from the clippings.
Yeah.
Might as well.
We try. You never know.
So what makes turkey tail medicinal? There is a particular property that is in turkey tail mushroom called beta-glucans. Now, this is what I think is extremely interesting. Beta-glucans have been studied in clinical trials, and what it's finding is its ability to kickstart your immune system, to activate it, to get it going, and it helps support your body to fight off things like viruses or cancer or pathogens that could be doing you harm. So there's a lot of clinical studies out there. I definitely want you to do your own research. It is a crazy little fungi. Now, the method that I'm going to be doing to preserve these turkey tail mushrooms is we're gonna pressure cook them. In order to get the highest amount of beta-glucan, you either need to cook it down for 2 to 3 hours is one technique, and then he also talks about pressure cooking it. So I'm excited. We're gonna pressure cook this, and then we're also going to blend it up, and then I'm going to dehydrate all of it until all the moisture is completely gone, and we're left with a powder. Now that powder we can then add into our teas. I can add it into my cooking. Heck, you can even make capsules with it. I think that this is going to be a very good way for us to use and to incorporate into many other things. Having a powdered turkey tail substance like this, you can support your immune system and your whole body by adding a little bit to your coffee in the morning, to a soup that you're cooking, a dinner that you're cooking, and why not? Well, why not use the plants that are here and good for us? So now that I've got them all cleaned up, all the debris is pretty much off. I also went through and kind of picked some that I'm like, maybe that one looks like it might have been chewed a little bit, and some of them that are just a little too old. So what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna rinse them off and get them loaded in the pressure cooker. If I were to cook this down in a big stock pot, what you would do is you would add about 10 times the amount of water, and then you would let it simmer for about 2 to 3 hours. I'm going to do the pressure cooker because I only have a little bit of time for this. Plus, I think it's gonna do good, and I was excited. He was sharing a lot about it, so that was one reason. Ever since I went to go listen to him talk, I've been wanting to do this. So the plan is you're gonna cover your mushrooms with about 2 inches of water, and then pressure cook it on high for 45 minutes. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm using cold water, mainly because the hot water sits in the hot water heater. So I feel like cold water is best, and if I see anything that needs to come out, I'll just pick it out slowly. I did want to tell you though, because I was looking to see if I could find one that was a lookalike. There are no toxic turkey tail lookalikes, but the underside, and I did kind of show with you, I will show you this. So the underside is more porous for turkey tail versus that. See how the gills are? If you see that, that is not turkey tail. You want something like that. But you can tell, you can see how easy it would be to confuse them. And being that there are so many different colors, I could understand that as well. I mean, we mainly have like the blue gray, which is what we found, but we also have the rich browns. They even go darker. Now the one big thing that he said is to keep the keep warm function off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it off. After the turkey tail were done in the pressure cooker, I released the steam, and I did go ahead and let it cool completely down before I did this step. I want to make sure that you guys know, because it can get really hot and you don't want scalding turkey tail mushroom blends all over you. So I filled my jars, I grabbed my immersion blender. This thing is a beast, and it's probably one of my favorite kitchen gadgets that I have. So I'm blending it up, turning it into like a mush-like substance. I know it looks gross, but trust the process, right? That's what we always tell ourselves. It's kind of like a mushy applesauce kind of texture. Kind of looks like oatmeal. Not bad. Christopher Hobbs shared in his book that there's two different methods that you can use towards getting this now into a powder form. You can either put it in your oven, low and slow. I think he said like 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and make sure to oil the pan before. I have a dehydrator. I'm gonna go ahead and use my dehydrator. Now pouring it on the trays, I'm gonna try to only do a little bit at a time. The more you add to your trays, the longer it's gonna take to dehydrate. So if you wanna do like a thin layer, thin is kind of better on this aspect versus adding a big chunk. You're gonna be there for a while. A spoon. I think I could add a little, just a hair more, but I don't want to go too crazy. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. I thought I had more trays. Oh well, that's okay. If I have to, I can MacGyver something. That's what I'm good at. I need a duct tape, a pineapple, and a paper clip. What's going on with this? All right. Looks delicious. All of that extra moisture is going to dehydrate out of there, so I'm not too worried. It smells good. It doesn't stink. It has a very sweet it's kind of sweet. I gotta go look for my trays. I think I have a few more trays, but I might add a little bit to another one. We'll see. I got a cake pan. I'm gonna go ahead and just divide it up and add a little into this instead. Spread this out. All right, let's see if I made enough space. Good. And done. Now, that is going to be in there in the dehydrator for as long as it needs. I think I went ahead and just did it for 8 hours, but I'm going to check it. My dehydrator only goes to 100, but his book, he says go ahead and do 95 degrees Fahrenheit. If you are converting that over to Celsius, that's 35 degrees Celsius. But again, mine's going to be a little bit higher only because it just doesn't go that low. But he did say the higher the temperature that you do it and the longer that you do it, the richer it's going to get. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. So we'll check back and I'll give you guys an update on this turkey tail powder that we're making. So all in all, it took about 26 hours roughly. I didn't quite look at the time. I did have to start it. I do think that this truly depends on how thick you pour out your mushrooms. So just bear in mind, I poured mine kind of thin. If I had more trays, I would have made it a little bit thinner, but it has this weird cardboard-like texture. And I'm filling up my jars because I do plan on using my immersion blender to try to attempt to powder it. Now, bear in mind, if you are using your immersion blender, be careful because you're going to have powder and mushroom chunks kind of all over the place. So I'm using a paper towel to kind of help block that. I should have probably used a blender for this because at least it would have been completely sealed. I was trying something and I was already committed, so here we go. For storing purposes, you're going to want to store your mushroom blend in a cool, dark area in an airtight seal. And you can even vacuum seal the lid to make sure that you have it completely airtight. Now, dosing, that's a big question. And I'm going to actually reference Christopher Hobbs. For basic dose, it's about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, which is 2 to 4 grams, 1 to 3 times daily. So that's kind of your base of your mushroom powder dosage. You can add this powder into meals that you're cooking with. You can add it, you can make like a tea. I add my mushroom powders into my coffee. I absolutely love that. That's a good way. I like rich, dark coffee anyways, so sometimes adding mushrooms into it, you don't actually taste the difference. It still just tastes very rich. And that's a good way. I drink coffee. I love my coffee. I love my mushrooms, so I put them together. For dosage on just boosting and maintaining your immune system, at least two times a day to a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, but you can even go up to 3 times a day. What's even nice is if you like the taste of this, you can add other things into it. If you're not feeling well and you just want to support your immune system, you can add ginger. You can add a little bit of lemon. You can even mix in, I'm a fan of cacao, so some cacao and mushrooms. I like it a lot. And if you're like a peppermint patty fan, you could probably even do peppermint mixed with cacao and then add in your mushroom blend. This I'm gonna bring up to the apothecary and label it because I don't have any labels in here, and that is the big thing I want everyone to do. If you've taken the time and if you've foraged for something and if you're bringing it back and you are turning it into something that you can use, that's essentially growing right outside, you want to make sure that you know exactly what it is. So just trust me on that. That is the biggest thing that often happens is people don't label. And when I say people, it means sometimes me. Okay, so there. I'll admit that. So as always, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn something old. Bye, guys.